Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We're going to open up your committee meeting of Town of Miami Lake, March the 6th. Call it to order. Roll call. Dottie Wicks. Florida Scorbo.
Sergio.
Alexandra Alonso.
María.
Maria Plana. Jacqueline Lopez.
Pedro Fiallo.
Nancy Rogers.
Has everybody reviewed the minutes from the last meeting?
There's no minutes of that. No.
Oh, so
That's
that's
what
why I
you're-
sent them to her on Monday afternoon, but she didn't.
Yeah, so they're gonna be added to your next agenda.
Oh, okay.
This is the general minute. And the email,
Right, that's what I thought.
and the email it had it, that might be the old agenda. What is it? The date, minutes, January 3rd, but the agenda. Oh. No date for this. Yeah, the days for that. You have the.
Right, you have the wrong agenda, that's it.
I was gonna say, I've only got 3 pages, you've got a whole bunch more, so what have you got? Sure. So you thought you saved time, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like. You've been hanging with me too.
Public comments. We have 2 guests today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Elizabeth Rashad. I am the Center Director of the Adult Programs for the City of Hialeah.
I am Christy Morando and I'm the cultural center and supervisor for the city of Miami.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Are they both good friends of Willie?
We're amazing friends with them. Very big fans.
Are there any public comments? No. Presentation. Louis Piazza is coming. He's dropping his son off at, school. And he's coming because there's an organization that wants to do, some kind of an event over at the Roberto Alonso. It's for seniors and it's like a lunch, a party, and a whole bunch of, he can explain it better than I can because he's been in touch with the lady. I don't know where they come from. And he wants to get the committee's approval on doing it. So when he gets here, we'll let him come in and, give his presentation. So you have the treasurer's report?
Yeah, I guess I can just attach to the treasurer's report to our agenda. And if you look and see our total available is $23,118.35. So, any questions? I mean, it's self-explanatory.
You don't know if that includes Fred's check for $500?
I don't know.
I've already.
I don't know. I don't see that, ask her when she.
Sure.
The other thing, there is a resident that sent me, an email. And her mother-in-law is comes to our event. And she wants to do an event for us. And the event is an advertisement. She works for, what's that cosmetic company?
Mary Kay,
Mary Kay.
I know her.
You want an intention?
She. Okay, so she is, like Dottie said, her mom comes to a lot of our events. She's a resident of Miami Lakes. I know her personally because she's a friend of the family. And then when she found out that I was in the Elderly Affairs Committee, she told me what her idea was. She used to work part-time, full-time as an accountant, but she decided to go into Mary Kay to start up her own business. So her idea was either to come to one of our events and have a table with samples of Mary Kay, and then later, if any women want to follow up with her, or if she could do an event, but I told her that I didn't know how the event would be, being that, the events that she's done before, sometimes she'll have someone, try a cream on or something, and that's like but that could be a liability.
Right.
So I told her that, in this morning's meeting to send in the email like she did, with all the proper channels, and then I would go ahead and let her know and speak on her behalf. So that's what she wants to do. Her name is Stacy.
Does she want to just sponsor with her name on it, or, because we can't do the party, right?
Right, yeah, she would either be a sponsor or if she could come, as a sponsor with a table, and then I guess give out,
Handouts.
yeah.
And I think that would be her best bet, because, yeah, great.
Oh, that's okay.
No, I read it and I was trying to figure out, like, I couldn't, see, you know, her coming and us paying for everything,
No,
so.
no, and I told her that. I said, you know, you would have to either be a sponsor or, you know, something, but not just come in and, you know, have a Mary Kay party, you know, that we don't do that, so.
If she's a sponsor, she can bring, just like any sponsor does, brings her samples, but I don't think we should set a precedent that somebody who has, you know, a business, we will give them a forum or an outlet to,
Right.
but they can be a sponsor just like any other business,
Okay.
is my opinion.
And pick one of the holiday ones like coming up, you know, we have the one in March coming up, and the 22nd, the bingo. You know, she could sponsor that.
Well, the bingo for the 22nd, for direction of the elderly affairs, you guys only want 2 sponsors at a time, and that one's completely funded.
Yeah,
And so is the April one.
You're doing good.
I'll for you maybe if we can use it for the 22nd, or if you want it for the next one. I really.
So we having a bingo on the 22nd?
It's a bingo on the 22nd. Our February bingo report, it was packed. That's what, as much as I can say. Everybody seemed to have a good time. We, were short of, I think, 1 or 2 chairs, but we were able to get them somewhere else and fit everybody in, and it turned out really good. I think everybody said the food was good. They didn't win, but they were still happy, so.
Yeah.
I met with Veronica. I'm gonna meet with her in about when we finish here. Because I give her a big party. She's very happy. She did with us. She had 2 parties because of the delivery. 150 and 300 people.
For her own,
Yeah, for her own, yeah, for her
oh,
own,
that's
yeah.
great. Well, that helps out in getting
Yeah,
sponsors.
she,
Tell her to pass the word around.
NDC wanna help her too, so. It's nice. We were very happy. She told me to tell you that, you know, so we're very.
That's good. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Under new business, bingo for March, an Irish lunch, and that's usually we get a theme around the holiday or something, so we're gonna just do it in green. And, I got a few prizes there that we got, but I'm just wrapping them in green. And, if anybody else has any suggestions or anything else they wanna add to it, let me know. It's the 22nd, I'll hand her.
My wife's gonna bring some lamps to raffle.
Okay, well, that's great, yeah. And who is sponsoring that one? Do you-
Yes, we have sponsor for that.
No, I was wondering who it was that sponsored.
I'd have to go back, but I believe all the sponsors have been shared with you guys. I'll go back and see if there's any updates. I know it's full. And then the only thing I'll remind you is that for the bingo, you guys haven't confirmed your sponsor, so I need you guys to. I know you were working on NQC, you mentioned.
Yes, I'm gonna go check it on my way home, because he's right
Okay.
next door.
The thing is that you guys need to approve the invoice, remember?
I tried
Oh.
this after you sent that email, and if you had sent it to me earlier, or saying, I understand, I'm just
My
saying,
fault.
since I'm not, remember,
No,
it
it's not
was.
your fault, it's a
It's not-
committee effort.
No,
What
and
I thought he was gonna do is, when he said yes, I told him to get with you, because
Yeah.
I had told you too, so I thought you two had talked.
I did, I sent him a message, but I didn't
And
get a
it was fine. All right,
response
I'll
last
go
week.
back today.
Ask them if now I have this one already with
You
invoice,
already got it.
that we can do this in April.
Yeah, it's up to you guys, really.
is that
The only thing is that if NQC
No.
was told, then we need to,
I
be-
went to this a month ago.
Oh,
we just need to be clear if we told NQC, that's the only
but
thing.
and he didn't respond to me either, so.
Oh, okay.
I
So
tried
good for
calling
him.
this morning, and they didn't answer.
So if they don't do it now, we can do here in April.
Yeah, I guess we should use this one because we don't have anything else right now. But
Right.
I mean, that's again up to you guys. If you guys want to see a copy of it, Pedro brought it.
900, this, we don't.
But
get
yeah,
taxes.
if you want to read it out.
Here, I'll read it out loud. It's from who?
Yeah, you.
Sergio, the restaurant.
No from this service, no from us.
It's gonna be medianoches with cookies, 120, for a total of $900.
Yes,
plus-
900, no, 900.
They don't-
Remove it out.
No,
they
they just
pay
put it
tax?
down, but they don't charge tax.
We'll remove it out.
Right, so it's $900, so it's $7.50 for a sandwich and a cookie. It's the only invoice we have, I moved to have Sergio do the March 22nd. Bingo.
Second.
Yeah. Oh, one second. Second. All in favor?
I,
You know, we cut it down to 100 people.
There's 120
They go
because
100.
20
120?
people,
Yeah. That's what
20
we've been-
people are the sponsors and the people that work there. And it gives us a little wiggle
Oh.
room if somebody comes
Alright.
in without an appointment.
Ay, no me digas nada, que sí, no creo, sí.
right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sold American, whatever you
I'm
say.
I'll just take this opportunity to remind you guys, invoices need to be brought to the committee, so whoever's gonna take charge of the next one, I think maybe we should say it out loud now so that we don't, then it doesn't get missed, because we all think somebody else is doing it.
Whoever what?
Whoever's bringing a sponsor, I mean, the meal.
Emil,
The meal for the bingos or any event, we have to approve them at the committee. Remember, we discussed that so that we know exactly how much it is? I thought we had, remind me, I thought we had said if it was under a certain amount, we would automatically approve it, that we didn't have to bring.
You guys did set a budget,
Okay.
but to be financially transparent, we should be bringing.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, if we had a situation like NQC had not brought it and we didn't have somebody else, if he was under our budget amount, which I believe was $11.50.
I'll go back and check. I forgot,
Okay.
but it was about that. The only thing I will say, maybe we should just, if that's the case, we should just set a default, like from here, like, oh, if somebody doesn't bring, we'll go with and give me 2 restaurants, and like that, I know. Does that make sense?
Wait, that makes sense,
Make this, when we're in a situation like this.
right?
So like that, it's the directive from you guys on what you want.
Any opinions on this? All in favor?
There's no-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I guess we're in discussion now for the motion you made, right?
No, the motion I made already passed, which is to do this.
Yeah, so this would
I
be,
think we're just discussing if there wasn't a invoice. I thought that the committee had agreed that it would automatically be approved. And we didn't need to have it come before the committee. If it was under, I believe it was, does anybody remember $11?
because that came
Yeah, it's
from-
$11.
It's $11?
It-
Okay,
It's in the minutes somewhere. I think it's
Because-
1,300. I think it's 1,300 max.
1,300, which. provided
Because I think you
100.
guys were giving yourself space for the gift cards.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. So, as long as we're under that, I just think that that's probably the best, because I can tell you, as soon as you sent out the email, I called NQC, they were closed. And I saw the email later in the day, so I called, they were closed apparently at 4:30. I called them this morning and they didn't answer. And Dottie was gonna go by afterwards.
I can reach out to Milo. What's her maximum of food, not including gift cards?
I'll tell you that for this bingo, we already have gift cards because I bought a stack of them last bingo. So all you need is the lunches.
Yes.
So it would be 1,200.
$1,200.
Because 1,300 is your max, take away the 100 for the gift cards.
I'll go, do you know him personally? Okay, because he hasn't gotten back.
I'll reach out to him for the next one.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
But we have some restaurants that give us a big discount, like these people, the $25 bingo give it to me for $10.
Which is, yeah.
Which will save money.
And just to be clear, because you guys took a motion on Sergio's, which one are you going with then?
Sergio,
Yeah.
because we
I
don't
need
have
more
for the
factors.
next one.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
help for the next.
Okay, so
start.
let's just agree to do that for April and that takes care of us.
Okay, so you'll
I will.
get the invoice.
Thank you.
Okay.
So do you need a motion now for April and
If you guys want to get it out of the way already, I would say just,
let's do it? We don't have any
All
more
in
questions.
favor?
I make a motion
Second,
that we do what she said.
Second by Sergio.
yes, second.
Yeah,
No,
and
the
then she
motion,
goes back and
let me
forth.
just clarify, the motion is, let me clarify what the motion is. The motion is that we will have NQC for the April lunch and that we're approving it so long as it is under $1,200. That's
Yes,
my motion.
yes, second. I second.
All in favor?
No,
Oh, did you
discussion.
second? Oh,
Second first?
Yes, you do
has
have
a
a second.
Oh,
So the second.
Let me shut up.
Sí.
Discussion. No discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Can I ask a question? On the treasury report, we had the $500 check from Fred included here or not?
Yes,
We have it here.
yes,
Okay,
that's in the contribution, the donation.
okay, thank
the committee chair meeting's met on Monday night. And the one thing they're asking us to do is look ahead of what we're gonna want next year, like if people are adding things to their budget. Like if we wanted to do like, Miss Miami Lakes or something like that to promote our own, committee. And a lot of them have already started doing their budget, thinking about what they're gonna put in the budget, because it's gonna be due, I think, in end of May. So if you think you've got anything.
No, it's a little bit later than that. The manager just wanted to kind of bring it up, so you guys start thinking about it based on what you're spending, based on what you're looking to do, like start getting ideas for what you want. So that when the time comes and you're not, just doing it on the spot and then it's not well thought out. That's all.
If we can think of something we haven't done before, it will, just changed a little bit, any big event. Come with your ideas next time. Because it was just thrown on us on Monday night. And anything else we want to add to our budget. We have our budget, but if they want to change this category and put maybe less here and more over here, we have to be prepared to do that. So start thinking about it.
On the figure we have to work with, Dottie.
They have not given that to us yet. We're basing it on this year, we're basing it on this year's budget, but we'll get our budget.
We can ask for more.
Which is.
We can ask for more then.
Which is what amount.
You guys all have a copy of your budgets, as part of your agenda package for.
Yes.
So the total.
What's left here.
Well, that's what's left. I see that, but you have that. Here's.
Yeah.
The total budget is.
We have something here. City of Hialeah invites finance seniors to an event.
Yes, so we have on March 22nd, we have a senior karaoke competition. I was told that we would be giving out tickets, so I would need to know if anybody's interested in attending. It is.
That's the day we have,
nine.
that's the day we have our bingo.
Yes, it is the day you have your bingo. I can send out all the dates that we have for our events and any other programming that we have. So you guys are aware, and if you want to attend, you're more than welcome to.
Where is the film?
It's gonna be held at Gullet Theater on 8th Avenue and 44th Place. So I'll send out, who could I send me?
I have I'll share with them. I just wanted them to hear about it. But I have it here and I'm happy to provide copies for you guys and email it to you as well. Because they sent me, as you mentioned, a bunch, it's not just the upcoming stuff, they sent me like up until October.
Mhm.
Right.
So what I do is I plan yearly. I plan from October to September, all the events, all the field trips, all programming, classes, all of that is already programmed for the year. So that's how she received all of that already. So if you guys want to attend, we are more than welcome to have you. I just need to know how many tickets to save for you guys.
What kind of events do you have?
We have senior karaoke, we have domino tournaments, we have billiard tournaments, we have a talent show. We have, yeah, they love dominoes. We have a talent show, we have a play or a theater production. Sometimes it's what is it called? Monologues. Sometimes it's a play, depending on what they would like to do. We also have the Great King and Queen, which is the pageant. That I know that you guys also have a pageant as well. We have quite a bit of.
Sounds like you're really busy. Okay, we got, our Mr. and Mrs. Senior Miami Lake.
Before we move on to the next item,
I was just gonna,
oh, and, yeah, go ahead.
okay. I need to make a motion to open up again number 3, the additions, corrections, and deletions, so we can add to the agenda to speak about, the field trips. So
That's-
we can put it in the agenda. We don't
I
have
think
the field
that,
trip.
no, I think that's request for events to be approved. That's number C.
I guess it's, we can.
See you
do that as
tonight.
part of
Number
it.
C.
See you
Yeah, I guess we can. Oh,
So-
sorry. Yeah, the thing is that for, honestly,
You, sir.
for requests for events, I have a couple of lists of
Welcome.
things that I wanted to mention, and I didn't want to confuse it with her field. You know how she was working on the field trips?
Right.
So you guys wanna just do it together?
Yeah, I said,
Okay, I guess we'll do it at same, sorry.
Well, welcome, Mr. Piazza. How are you
Hello,
today?
welcome.
And already have informed him that you were coming in.
I'm sorry I'm late. I'm
No,
sorry.
I understand with the rain and you had to drop your son off.
I would, it's drop off duty, yes.
Perhaps they have a lot to do.
Traffic was light. It was just the drop off was fun.
Since he's in a rush to get to work, we're gonna let him go ahead and speak. Is that all right with everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and I don't wanna monopolize the time, but I appreciate it. First of all, thank you guys. It's been a while since I've been back. I see a lot of new faces. And this is where I started here in the committee. So for those that I've known for a very long time, I think Alex and I go back eons, and as well as Dottie and Nancy and everybody else. There's a lot of new faces. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Luis Colaz. I'm one of the council members here. My path to the council was through here, through elderly affairs and the work that you guys do. So I really appreciate everything that you guys are doing. While I was up in Tallahassee, advocating on town issues, an organization that knows kind of my history with the town and knows how involved I was with elderly affairs, approached me about hosting an event here that's never been done in the state of Florida. It's called Florida Senior Days, and it's by a company called United Healthcare. And they're picking 4 host sites throughout the state of Florida to do this. So I think they're picking a site in Jacksonville, I think one in Orlando, one at a site in Miami. And they approached me and said, look, what do you think Miami Lakes would be interested? I said, I think absolutely would be interested. And then they started telling me about some of the dynamics of the event space, how many people can it hold, catering, bringing in all the resources to host Florida Senior Days. And that was beyond the scope of answers that I can give them. So the first thing that I did is I connected with Dottie and told her, hey, is this something you think the committee would be interested in? She said, let me put it in front of them. Let me see. The second thing that I did was put them in touch with the town and see if we even have the facilities to host a large event. I mean, they're talking about more than 200 or 300 people, bringing in caterers, media. So they're looking to do it big. So if the stars align, and I think their time is April or sometime in the future, in the very near future, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to partner with another organization that maybe hasn't had a presence or a biggest presence here in the past. If we don't align, it's still, they didn't find a closed door, right? We said, let's see if it works out or not. So that was the only premise for me coming, obviously to say hi to you guys, but to explain a little bit about how this opportunity came in front of us and it's now in front of you in the committee. I think it's on your agenda.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And I know Isle didn't have the benefit of me meeting with her before, but you may have gotten, I don't know if you've gotten some questions.
I just got like the original email was forwarded to me, and it's pretty much what you mentioned, 200, 300 seniors that they want to host it here, and who could assist them with it. That's the initial email.
Right, so they're already looking at spaces, I think, with town personnel. Roberto Right. Alonso. I think if Roberto Alonso cannot do it, have a meeting today with the director of AGM, Ana Mendes. She
Oh,
offers me anytime I need it. They can hold 400 or 500 people there.
okay.
Just anytime you need it. Today I have a meeting with her at 2:00.
I'll let
So if you
the
want-
people from Tallahassee know.
And I'm pretty sure they will be able to work with us, to do it.
what place?
Ana Mendes University, right here and,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here to answer any questions. If I don't have the answer, because it's not, again, it's something that happened very organically in Tallahassee. And the organization, the reason I was approached by the organization, it was an old organization I used to work with very closely called the Florida Assisted Living Association. So United Healthcare and the Florida Assisted Living Association had partnered up to kind of host these satellite events.
what's the name?
Huh?
What's the name?
United Healthcare and the Florida Assisted Living Association.
I understood that it was the seniors and family. like-
Yes.
Oh,
Just
wanna make
it's
sure.
an event that they plan on doing throughout the year, throughout Florida every year. It's called Florida Senior Day. And it's being sponsored by United Healthcare. They're the ones with the actual capital, and it's being, I guess, organized through the network of the Florida Assisted Living Association. So that the little cities are where they have little pockets of representation. Yes,
Just out of curiosity.
sure.
What are they going to be doing or presenting on?
So I don't think so much as a presentation, more like a celebration is what they've kind of, and it's really just to celebrate seniors. I am almost certain they're gonna showcase a lot of the United Healthcare products,
Sure.
right? That's
Right.
kind of why they do these things. But I think they're gonna be bringing in advocates, resources, kind of think of it almost like a resource fair. Heavily slanted with United branding and promotion. But that's a good question that I can flesh out with the Florida Assisted Living Association, the organizers, because this is the first off, right? And it really depends on the execution. And since I've not been heavily involved with the people who are executing, the lady from Tallahassee, I think she was even thinking she was going to have to fly in, Tammy, which is the person you've been in contact with. I was under the impression that she may be participating remotely, but I don't think, can people participate remotely?
And we can work with IT to maybe do something, but I don't think I haven't been in contact with that person, so.
Okay, so one of the things I can facilitate for the group, if you guys want to have like an ongoing dialogue or, and I shared the contact with Dottie, her name is Tammy Wathen, in Tallahassee, and she's kind of the one that's spearheading organizing this event. So I can actually ask her that question, in writing and then see, by way of, I'll communicate it back to Dottie, and I don't know if that's something that you guys can share.
and would we be responsible for the reservations, getting all the people who's gonna come and all that?
No.
And how that works?
No, I think the only thing that you would be responsible for is if you give it your blessing, kind of be aware of it. If you guys do approve it, you'll be co-branded, and as an event that's being sponsored by the Elderly Affairs Committee. It's not going to require any financial contribution from you guys at all. I think United Healthcare's already supported all of the financing of it. And the catering and getting the insurance for the event, that all falls on Tammy Wathen in Tallahassee. So really what they're just looking for is a place that they want to say, okay, in partnership with, it could be the city of Miami, right? It could be Miami Gardens, wherever location.
We can do it in Miami Lakes, because I'm pretty sure what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk to her, I talked to the director, have a meeting with her at 3. I'm gonna call Dorothy, so the both can meet. And then we can work together with the university, with our elderly care committee.
Yeah, I don't know at what point the conversations are with here. I know that they already connected with the people from the town that handle the event space, the availability of the event space. If it doesn't pan out with the town, I think that'll be a good plan B for Pedro, for you to kind of go through your network of people and say, hey, look, the town wasn't available, but this university is. And that's all I've been doing, is just putting people kind of together.
Louis,
Yes.
it's under the title of Florida Senior Day.
Florida Senior Day, yes. It's not, and I think it may be brought to you by, United Healthcare, the Elderly Affairs Committee for the town of Miami Lakes, and Florida Assisted Living. It's kind of like that. Like, that's gonna be how it's titled. But that's a good question. I can ask that from Tammy as well. Yes, Nancy. Mama Nance.
From what I'm understanding is that they've pretty much got everything. They're just looking for the venue.
They're looking for, yes, and they just don't want a venue. They want a place with a thriving senior community. That's why they identified us. They can find a venue anywhere in Miami. But they knew the work that's kind of been going on here, kind of because, again, they've known, okay, you came up through elderly affairs, you've been very involved with the seniors in your community. They really want a place that has an active senior population. Look, this is the rub. It's you guys are gonna be attending, right? They want people to go. If they show up in a place that doesn't really have a thriving senior population, it's gonna be mud on their face. So really, the reason that they're attracted to this town and to this community is because of you. They can go to United Way and go through their AARP network. They can go to other places. It just so happened that the Florida Assisted Living Association, you know, I was very involved with them back in the day. I was president of the association statewide. They said, hey, you're active with seniors in Miami. You're the first person we're gonna go to. So that's really the role that you guys are gonna draw in and have an active senior population kind of attend. But they're not just marketing to Miami Lakes. This is really the Miami, like I said, it's a statewide, yes, God bless you. It's gonna be in 4 locations. And this was just one that they're proposing for the Southeast region. They have another one in the Central, they have Jacksonville, and I think they have one in the Panhandle. I think that's how it's kind of laid out. I think the Central one is not Orlando, it's Tampa.
So they are looking, if we get involved, they're looking to utilize Roberto Alonso as the place. And because we always use Roberto Alonso, my question is, I've never asked it before, never had to. When we use Roberto Alonso for our bingo and everything, do we have to pay someone to use that location?
No.
Okay,
No, we don't.
so,
If the event, there's 2 paths. If the event, let's say the committee says, no, we don't want to deal with this, it's not. They're still looking, right? So they could, right, just go directly through the town and say, we're gonna rent Roberto Alonso. We're gonna rent, here's the fee, here's our insurance. They can rent that. They could say, let's look elsewhere. Roberto Alonso doesn't fit our needs, but we still want to co-brand the, let's say nothing here in the town works for them, right? Roberto Alonso is too small. They got to go to Ana Mendez. They might still want to partner with you and co-brand the event with your help. Let's say nothing works in the town. They're still going to have it. They're going to go to another municipality, City of Miami Beach, North Miami. They're going to go somewhere. This is an obligation that they have with United Healthcare. United Healthcare, I don't know how much money they put. I don't know if it's 100,000. I don't know what's budgeted for the event. Tammy's a good person to answer those questions, but they partnered with an organization that's putting the money and they're gonna execute on it. So I'm not getting too much in the weed, not that it's an in the weed question. It's a perfect question. I don't know too much of the details. I just know it's gonna happen. And we're the first city that has a bite at the apple.
well, the only reason why I asked is because we pretty much know the capacity limit
That was a
for
sticking
Roberto
point.
Alonso.
That was a
And then
sticking,
now we're getting Hialeah and other places.
Yeah.
I'm thinking our bingos, for instance.
they're
That's our
expecting
three.
200, they're expecting, I think the number that they said, and I don't know if they shared it with you, Isle, on that email, anywhere from 200 to 300 people.
And
Yeah,
what's
they
the
said
capacity
200
of Roberto?
200 to 300. Yeah.
What's the capacity
Roberto
at
Alonso.
Roberto Alonso?
I think it's 100.
Yeah,
106 people.
So that,
Right, so that means that you have to use the parking lot. In some venues, it's an
Outside
indoor,
area.
outdoor, right? I can imagine the same with Anna G. Mendez, right? You're gonna have.
They're willing to work with us, Willie. They always say they
Right,
work with
but I'm
anything
saying
that can be, you know.
So it can be, again, we're not planning the event. I'm not planning the event. It's another organization in Tallahassee planning the event. Those are great questions for them to kind of figure out. They're already in that process with the town. If the town doesn't work out, for them, right? And that's one of the possibilities we discussed. They can't find anything here. Shula's Hotel, too
Sure.
expensive. Anna G. Mendez just doesn't fit.
Sure.
They're gonna do it anyway. I just didn't want, at least the answer I gave them, I didn't want to have a closed door saying, oh, we don't have any venue that's 300. We don't have, I wanted to give them the opportunity to try to flesh it out and thank them for thinking of you guys. I mean, this is really something that I would take as a badge of honor because I haven't been part of this committee for a long time, right? They've continued to hear about your successes, right? They continue to hear about the work that you're doing and it's not going unnoticed. So the fact that you have a place like United Healthcare and an organization in Tallahassee saying great things are happening in Miami Lakes with the seniors, right? This is the first city we're going to consider. I think that's a testament to the work that you guys are doing. And if anything, it's something that you guys should be very proud of. That I go away and they know the work that you're doing. So I think it's a big kudos for you guys.
There it is.
I'd like to
Yeah.
make.
Wait a minute, Nancy, there it is.
I'd like to make a motion to approve and work with Tallahassee and the hosting Florida
Second.
Senior Day
Second,
discussion.
Louis, they are planning this in May, right?
Oh,
Oh, I wanted to get that out there first, because
he said,
Well, that's
take
what we
that.
discussed.
I don't, the days are being fleshed out. I don't know if they're on if they have to be done at a specific time. Al, did that email preface the day?
I thought it said May.
It
I
may
thought
have,
the month, it didn't give us a day.
I don't see a day at all, at least not in the
That was
initial
a-
email.
if it were to
was
pass,
wrong.
if you guys were to vote on this and it were to pass, one of the things I would do is hand off, Dottie to Tammy, and I'll, if you guys could have a call with and flesh out some of these things. A lot of it is really gonna be on, not even I'll, the facilities people of the town. Does it work? Is it gonna fit? And then the communications part, I think they have, I think they're working with a
I'm sure
public,
they have a lot of marketing.
huh?
I'm sure they have a lot of
Yeah,
marketing.
it's not gonna be a big workload
Yeah.
issue. You're gonna get the press releases kind of already done. It might just be kind of adding to that.
Yeah, and we'll
Um,
do our part, obviously, on the town's
Right.
outlets to promote it as well, if it's co-branded. with the
Yeah.
users.
But I'm sorry, I don't have the exact date.
I guess I just want to mention, to his point, because I know you guys, are maybe a little worried about those details, but I think in summary, what you need to understand is because it's an outside entity who has capital and resources, they've already started this. Like in terms of planning, that's not gonna fall on you guys,
Right.
whether the size, what date, the location, like they're figuring that out. That's not gonna fall on you guys. It's just a matter of partnering with you guys, your staff of support and supporting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the heaviest lift is you inviting people to go, which I think is very natural, with kind of the work that you guys do.
And once we get the dates and all that, we can
Yeah.
do it.
I just want to say that I think it's really a good idea, and I think it's good that we be involved, because as we know, Florida is the capital of senior living, and having our name appear anywhere along with United, which is a major company, and the Florida Assisted Living Association says a lot, and that'll be a place that'll put us more on the radar, and maybe we'll even get more seniors coming to.
Or more sponsorship opportunity. Quite honestly, if United sees the work and they're putting, they don't have to do this. United's not doing this. It's obviously a marketing
Yeah.
instrument for them, but they don't have to. They might bring more marketing in. They might sponsor more lunch bunches. It's just another opportunity for you guys to continue kind of working on the work, and maybe you get a payer contact. Maybe, but it's just another opportunity for you guys to work together.
Yes, ma'am.
If there's not already a motion on the floor, I'd like to make a motion that we participate in this.
You already-
Even
you already
if-
made it.
Even if it's not well, then we're in
We're
discussion.
in discussion.
So even if it's not really successful for us regarding venue or whatever, let's put our name and what we do out there. Because it only helps us down the road for what we do and sponsors and other possible sponsors, just for what we do as a committee here. It's nothing but a win-win situation for us, is my opinion. So we're ready to vote and approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody?
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Cuiado.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for coming and thinking of it.
Yeah, I appreciate, no, thank you guys. You guys are the ones that made this ask very easy. I mean, I wouldn't, to be quite honest with you, it's because of you. I gave you
We
guys.
do start this long time ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
You are one of the
This is
starters, so
his
we don't.
baby.
you guys have continued
So,
it. Next steps that I'll do is follow up with the people in Tallahassee. I'm gonna give them a quick rundown of what happened here at the meeting. Again, I'll share the contact, of Tammy, and I'll loop you in on any emails. And if they have any question on the communication side, just communication, I'll send it to you. If anything on the facility side, I'll continue to work through Victoria. Is that okay?
If, I'm happy to just send her an email after the meeting and just let her know that, they approved it, they're happy to support it, and then if they have any questions, I'll
Okay.
direct them to whoever.
Yeah, and I guess the sentiment that I would share is that, if any of the town public spaces don't work out for
We
them,
have,
that there's that somebody in the committee can link them to another resource within the town. So we keep it in the town.
We keep it, they're willing to work with us.
Yeah.
We can't do it anyway.
Yeah, Remember also, the people in Tallahassee
No.
you're gonna be the ground game, so they're gonna definitely rely on you, Pedro, so don't worry about that, they're gonna definitely come back. All right, thank you all
Thank
for the
you.
opportunity, thank you.
Pointing it all to us.
Thank you. I will. Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Oh,
we can go back to request for events number 9C. Just trying to move the meeting, guys.
thank you.
I have a 10 o'clock, so I'm gonna move the meeting.
I'm sorry, Lourdes.
No, that's okay. Sorry.
Yours is important, we need it.
9C.
So I just, you wanna go first or?
Yeah.
Let her go, you can go first.
Okay. So as far, Pedro told me this morning that he's waiting on Vinay to come back and tell him for sure about the museum, that there shouldn't be a problem with the museum entrance, with the Frost Museum entrance being covered by, whoever's gonna, Renee Garcia's office or whoever's gonna cover it for the field trip. So he told me that we need to wait probably another week until he can talk to him, because I think Renee's been out traveling or something. So at the same time, Iowa approached me a little while ago, since we had the thing about the field trips, and she had some prices, I think it is, about the Marlins games.
Yeah, so she's referring more to the
I got the
museum.
schedule here, okay, so
Yeah.
I'll give it to us.
So,
So,
I had actually given you guys a copy as well, a couple of agendas ago. So the next upcoming ones are Wednesday, April 3rd and Wednesday, April 17th. I have quotes for you guys. We went with a different, I know you guys were saying that the last company felt a little expensive. I reached out to another one just to get a feel on the prices. You're kind of looking at the same thing.
The buses you mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
sorry,
coach
just
bus.
wanted to
Yeah,
clarify.
maybe like $100 cheaper. So this new company actually sources out from different companies, so they give you different prices for different companies, so you can kind of compare, but they're all about the same. So it's looking like between 1,000 and 1,100 for the field trips. Per bus ride, and this is specifically to the Marlins, from here to the Marlins Stadium and then back. And I know you guys are very specific, I mean, in the past, you guys have only wanted to attend the ones that were during the day, because
Right.
seniors have to drive
Correct.
here. So these are during the day. The Wednesday, April 3rd would depart at 11 a.m. from Town Hall. Wednesday, April 17th would depart at 10 a.m. from Town Hall.
okay, you have a whole here,
Yeah.
everything there.
So
It's good.
How-
Take to the thing, yeah.
how big is that bus?
Oh, okay, so the bus is for 50. I will say, I asked her, you know, can you also price me on the smaller bus, which is 25, and it's really a $25 difference. So that's on you guys, and I was kind of told the same thing by the old company. I remember her telling me that it's not much of a difference. I will say that I know we've had issues fitting it up in the past. However, I also get a lot of calls asking me about them, so I don't know what the happy medium is there. But I think maybe we just need to open it up to like external. You know, you have the country club area, you have Hialeah. I think that those are or maybe do first come, you know, our seniors, and then whatever's open like a week or two before, open it up to the rest. So that's an idea.
I've been kind of asking a lot of questions, because they've been like, when are we gonna do the ball game, when are we gonna do the ball game?
What are the dates again for the ball game?
The ones I'm proposing, because you know, they have a bunch. It's April 3rd and April 17th.
And they leave at what time?
Well, April 3rd, we would depart at 11 a.m. from here. And April 17th, we would depart at 10 a.m. from here.
Okay,
And the senior tickets will be,
Those are
Fine.
part of, so what we do is for those field trips, the committee usually sponsors the bus fee. And then the tickets are free because Humana has a partnership with the Marlins games, I guess, and they sponsor senior days. So we choose senior days so that the seniors go for free, and I believe it's 65 and up.
And this is to go to the Marlins.
Correct.
yes.
So-
it is.
One of the things that I think we should do is, yes, we can open it up, but we should have a period that only Miami Lakes residents should be. Now, I know that we have been getting calls, let's put it that way, that Miami Lakes residents aren't getting into events that we're having. And I think Miami Lakes residents, as we've said, there's Eventbrite, they need to register. But I think what we should do is only have the registration for Miami Lakes residents for, let's say, 2 weeks, and then open it up so that we can fill the bus for after that. So 2 weeks, Miami Lakes residents, we only promote it to Miami Lakes residents. And That's my thought, to give them an opportunity so that they can't say, well, when I went to register, the bus was full and it was full of people from some other town. Or some other
Take a
city.
motion before about that. We already agreed that we was gonna do that.
For this year, you guys haven't, I know we talked about it briefly a couple items ago, but we didn't get into it. So again, this is up to you guys. This is the quote, this is the pricing. If any of you are gonna make a motion on this, I would suggest that you also think about the pricing part of it. I know historically we've done it for free. However, I've heard a lot of feedback from you guys that we don't fill it and there's concern that people are just RSVPing and then they cancel, they don't care because it's free. I know that that's an issue, so just keep that in mind. As I've mentioned to you guys before, we can charge them a very small fee, not because you guys need it. You obviously have the funding for it, but it's more of like the RSVP aspect of it. But again, that's up to you guys. It's just something to consider.
About.
We talk about make penalty, right? We make like if they don't come in and they don't call them in, pay $5 or something.
Yeah, but
I
that's
think
gonna be
we're-
hard to collect.
But everybody. No, everybody was over there starting to talk. So you had the floor, Pedro.
Yep. So,
So
Yeah.
I would say. I think that our town has always liked the baseball games. So I would say we would do at least one
Try it out.
and try it out, and that we open it up. The first 2 weeks that we put it on Eventbrite only, and we only promote it to Miami Lakes residents. And only Miami Lakes residents can do the first 2 weeks, and then after that, we open it up to the general public. If they want till we fill capacity, there could be a standby list as well. If somebody doesn't show up, they can be here, and if somebody doesn't show up and there's space on the bus, just like an airline. There's a standby list. The first person that got here, you get on a standby list and you can get on the bus if the bus isn't full. That's my motion. Second, there has to be a second.
it's just-
I second.
All in favor?
No, that's
I
what-
thought that- Oh, I thought that was.
No, that's
Nancy,
discussion. What I'm concerned about is not just the football, the baseball trips and the buses and all that. This is a common thing that we have a problem with. Everybody signs up just in case they don't want to lose a spot on the list. And I get that as well. Elder people, something can come up the day before. I get it. However, there's something we've got to do to control it, whether it be a small fee and you get the money back, which is a pain in the neck for upstairs and whatever. I'm just throwing things out there that there's gotta be some kind of control. Or you sign up for 3 different events in a year and you don't show up, then you can go on a standby list. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not giving it any thought as far as is it gonna work. All I know is it's gotta be a big pain in the neck when you think you've got 100 people gonna get on 2 buses. We're paying for 2 buses and only 1 bus full of people shows up. I don't know. Put something out there. How do other committees handle it? Whatever. It gets to be ridiculous that we're paying for buses that we're not filling. That's all.
Well,
just give, have one bus,
One bus.
and once it fills up, that's it.
I think if we do the one bus, which is our budget as a test, we open it up for 2 weeks. Everybody in Miami Lakes that wants to register has to register if they want to be guaranteed a seat in those 2 weeks. After that, it's going to be open to the public. After that, there's going to be people that can show up here and just like, you do a standby for an airplane.
Standby list.
There's a standby list. First come that shows up and you're on the standby list, here's the standby list. Everybody that was on Eventbrite gets on the bus. There's still 6 seats. You start from the top of the standby list and go number 1, you can get on. Number 2, you can get on. 3, get on, so forth. And that way the bus should, in theory, be full. But I say it's only 1 bus. We don't do this for 2 buses.
I
It's too
agree.
expensive.
I agree. And the good part about that is Joe Blow signs up, comes, and doesn't show up, this and that. Sooner or later, Joe Blow's gonna say, I'm not standing around waiting for standby. So I'm gonna register for next time. And we've got to have some sort of, I don't wanna say punishment, but some sort of thing that prevents
We're not
people
al-
from doing that to us. We can't keep doing that.
Well, we're not allowed to do that, Nancy. We
We're not
can't-
allowed to
we're not
pull
allowed to
something
do
in,
that. You
unfortunately.
can't,
You're not allowed to do what?
to ban somebody from coming
Yeah.
to an event. You're
No, no,
not.
no, we're not. No, 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 I'm not.
Well,
I'm
yes, you're
only
saying
saying
after three times that they miss, that they can't come to an event.
they're going to realize, I misspoke. What I'm saying is they're gonna learn the lesson that you either sign up and show up, and if you come and you're on standby, you might not get a seat.
Nancy, I'm having the same problem with the video. And I was gonna bring it up. Yes, ma'am.
Well, so let me finish. So that's the point, is there's no, heck, I even do it.
Guys, let's keep it to one person at a
Even-
time. Omaina,
Even I do it. I'll sign up for something, and if I make it, I make it, and if I don't, I don't. And I'm admitting to that, because I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I get it with the elderly people. All of a sudden, they've got a doctor's appointment instead. There's no control over it, but by the same token, we need to know, because we're paying for these buses. And we need to put the word out there that, I love your idea. I'm trying to support you here about signing up and giving them 2 weeks. After that, you're on standby and you might not get a seat.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
let me just
then I
clarify.
misheard.
I'm
Okay.
gonna clarify. It's gonna be 2 weeks, Miami Lakes residents from, let's say, May 1st through May 15th. Miami Lakes residents can only sign up. On May 15th, it gets open up to the public. At that point, we have 50 slots. If Miami Lakes residents only took up 10, guess what? The other 40 can be from anywhere else in the county. Actually, Broward County as well. So it could be from anywhere.
Okay,
And then you have 50 people that have signed up, and then there's a sign up sheet. Somebody in Miami Lakes goes, well, I tried to register. Well, you were given a 2-week priority. You then had another 2 weeks to sign up. Now you have to sit out there and you wait. That's their punishment.
fine, good.
If you want to consider it.
I
I
support
don't
it.
consider
Wait,
it.
I know she is, but usually our guests don't get.
Oh,
into-
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right, but
No, it's okay.
No.
I have a suggestion. The way that we do it in Hialeah is we have a waiting list. So, if they do not participate, if they're not able to register, we put them on a waiting list. And we track who attends and who doesn't attend. If they do not attend, automatically they're put on a waiting list for the next event, just because they reserved a spot and they didn't attend. So then the next event, the first people that are placed on the list would be the seniors that are on the waiting list. They will be given the opportunity first to join, to attend that trip or that event, and then it's open to whoever wants to come. Now, I understand what you're saying about if they don't attend, the only recommendation I can give for that is if they don't attend, they're put on the waiting list for the next one. But really, we don't ban them either from not coming. We just tell them, well, now you have to be put on the waiting list to give someone else a turn for the next event. Another thing that I wanted to ask is when it gets placed for the public and the city of Hialeah seniors want to attend, do you guys require anything for them to attend?
No,
They just have
Nothing
to
for
be
the
able-
bus,
they have to-
nothing like that?
They just have to make it here.
they just have to
Do
get,
they have to sign up for registration?
they have to go, it's gonna be on Eventbrite. Everything's gonna be on Eventbrite.
Okay.
They
And
have to.
I can share the link to our Eventbrite because that's just where we normally post all our events anyways. Not
Okay.
just this, yeah.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Jackie.
You mentioned 2 days being April 3 and April 17. Could you clarify on that? And is there a destination already determined? Is this a fraud?
Yeah, no, the first one was the one Maria was talking about. Those are the ones she's working on. We don't have anything on that just yet. This is specifically for the Marlins. The ones
Oh,
I'm referring to
okay.
are for the Marlins field trip.
Oh, we're not into the events beyond the baseball.
No, we
games.
are, Maria's actually helping us gather some info on that, so they're trying to get it as cheap or as, free as possible. So we're waiting on the commissioner who's gonna get back to us with some info on that,
All right, thank
on
you.
those specific.
Thus far, we're
Yeah.
just talking baseball.
Yeah, for today, this one's just for the baseball games.
So we now. Discussion is over. Anybody have any more discussion? We need a vote then on the motion. All in favor? Any no's?
To be clear, I don't know if you mentioned, is it for just one game you said?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I'll pick the furthest one out, if that's okay with you guys, just to give it enough time.
No, I agree.
That date?
So it's April 17th baseball game.
The other issue we have on that with the bingo is that one of our residents saying it's closed out before they can even get a chance. We put it on Eventbrite and they can call in. They say when they call in, the line is busy, they put on hold. By the time they get to the phone, it's closed. And two of them have come up to me and said, why don't we go back to signing up? And they, like, you come into this bingo, sign up for the next bingo. We did that for, I don't know how long. I think Claricella was not in favor of that, and I can't remember what the reason was she gave us for that.
Honestly, I have to go through legal. I can tell you just from staff perspective, if you open a list that you can only get on if you're physically there, then what happens to the senior that's not there that day? That senior is never gonna get on that list. Because then you have to physically be there. I didn't sign up, so then I can't go to the next one, so then I can't sign up there for the next one. And it's like this perpetual cycle where they're never gonna be able to attend. So it doesn't feel fair. The same way it doesn't feel fair to them, it doesn't feel fair for the outside people. So that's just something for you guys to keep in mind. I feel like you're always gonna have an issue with somebody.
I haven't idea.
Good.
Okay,
Because we-
so this is a compromise, and hear me out. We have it on Eventbrite, but again, we can have a list, since they can't call and they're complaining that they called and but they have to come and register here to town. And there's a list
Some of them do.
that
Yeah.
that come and they literally have to sign their name. That way they're not, well, I told whoever's at the front desk. No, there's a sign-in sheet. Here's the sign-in sheet. And at the end of the day, everybody should, whoever, type in them in Eventbrite. And, or once a week, they type it into Eventbrite. And then there's not a question. If they go, we didn't, we go, we'll have at the event. Here's the sign-in sheet. You didn't sign in and you didn't do it in Eventbrite, tough. You had an opportunity to do it in person. You can't say that I didn't have a computer, that I didn't have a phone that could connect to Eventbrite. You were able to come to town. You can get a freebie to town, so they don't even need a car. They can get a freebie to town. And they can register on this log that we can have at the front. How does that sound?
It sounds good. Which
I think it's very good.
it is good. But most of the seniors, they're planning to be, don't know how to do Eventbrite. Maybe we need to have a class in Eventbrite.
Well, we can have a class on Eventbrite, and I've suggested that, and we have in the past done one, but do a refresher course on Eventbrite, or they can make their way to town
Maybe take it already.
and
It's fine.
make their
I
way
have
to
a
town.
question.
Yeah.
Do the people that do the dirty work, like putting the chairs and putting the tablecloths and serving the food, do we still have to make reservations?
I think you guys discussed this in like.
Yes, no,
No, we don't.
no. That's why we have the 20 extra meals.
Right. We don't have to. If you're part of the committee and you're helping.
Yeah,
or
if you're
the
working the event,
sponsors.
you don't have to sign up.
Right. Or the sponsors we have.
One of the bosses, yes.
Yeah.
If we go on a trip, we all have to raise.
Yes, for
Yeah.
the buses, it's a different thing.
I'll never go again to the Marlins as long as I live. Last time I was the only person in charge. There were only 16 people and I told them stay all together because I'm only one for 16 people. All these crazy old people, they spread around, they sat all over the place. And at the time when we were leaving, I couldn't get them all together and I had to count them. It was 90 degrees, which felt like 100. And it was a day that all the schools in Miami-Dade County went, it was full of kids. So our bus couldn't park where we usually do. We had to park really around the stadium. It
Okay.
was a nightmare for me.
Oh, my-
Never again.
Okay, we have to move on.
Wait,
Never
we need to
again.
do the motion. If you like the idea, I would make a motion
I
that,
make the motion. All right, do you want to make it? Go ahead.
I'll
I'm
make it.
trying to move it for you.
Yes, I'm trying to move it as well.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that says that for bingos or our socials, that number one, we put it on Eventbrite and we leave it on Eventbrite. Number two, that there will be a manual sheet at the front desk of town hall, that if you cannot do Eventbrite, you get yourself to the town and you physically have to write your name in, and that sheet will be translated into Eventbrite.
Make sure they're dated.
Second,
All in favor? Discussion.
Aye.
Okay, we had it, plenty. You have to. Okay, discussion.
No discussion,
No discussion.
all in favor?
aye.
I won't take too much of your time, but I know it was a couple of events that needed, I needed your feedback. So, I had a rep from Humana reach out. As you guys know, Humana has sponsored some of your events in the last year.
Yes.
So they are offering kind of new ideas for new events. I'm just gonna read off a list. If anything calls your attention, please let me know and I'm happy to set it up for you if that's what you guys want. So they can sponsor birthday celebrations, holiday celebrations, musical therapy, Zumba classes, ice cream socials, therapeutic karaoke, picture day for seniors, Medicare 101 presentations, arts and crafts, tech classes. I figured that you guys probably wanted to set up the tech classes, given that we're no longer using the old sponsor. So again, I just need feedback from you guys if you want me to move on this.
I would say definitely tech
Yes.
classes. I would say plenty of them. If they're going to pay them, are they going to pay?
Yeah, they
us?
would sponsor, cause it's a branding effort, right? They
Right,
come
no, I
out
understand.
and, so yes, it would be free of cost, to you guys. We just have to provide the facility.
That may be the problem. Darn, aren't, Mary Collins is always.
Well, when it's
Yeah.
presentations, it's usually here. That's where we do them here. And as for the other activities, yes, it tends to be booked, but that's probably why we'd have to book it in advance. Yeah.
I
Make a
think the ice cream social is a very novel thought for sometime during the summer months. I think that would, it's something we haven't done before. I think it would go
I think
over
she's
that.
ready to motion on.
Yeah.
your behalf.
Oh. I make a motion to have.
Second. Go ahead.
Finish my sentence.
No, go ahead. I know.
I make a, where? We go way back. I make a motion to have Humana sponsor the events, the ice cream social, the tech classes, the Zumba, the,
All of them.
all of the ones that they
Yes,
mentioned.
yes.
Okay, a second, you second, discussion? Discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
More discussion?
And I'm sorry, because everybody emails me, you guys are popular, so.
Yes.
Officer Amador, I know has talked to Dottie. There was, somebody from the Department of Agriculture Consumers Affairs Division that came out to the last bingo.
Yes.
There's been a lot of scams related to seniors. They kind of wanted to come out and have a presentation here in the chambers. Just letting the seniors know how to protect themselves from these scams. Just want to know if you guys.
Make a motion,
Mhm.
make a
I
motion.
second.
I make a motion.
Absolutely.
Wait, you have to read the motion. What is the motion?
Motion is that
Hold on,
the
let me
lady
motion.
from agriculture can come in and,
Okay,
those.
second,
Second.
Yes.
now discussion. Nancy, you have a question?
Who's going to do the presentations that Amador's talking about?
So it's, the staff from Department of Agriculture Consumers Affairs Division.
Who was at our bingo?
She already was
Yes.
here before.
Yes.
She will be.
Also at that meeting, with the chairs, there was a gentleman, all I know is his name is Bill. And they want to do it's something that's coming out for seniors where they get all your information. So if you're at home and say outside, and I can't, or hurt myself, and I can't, nobody's there. They have all my information, the medicines I take, everything, the police officers. That way, they won't be giving us something that will hurt us. And there's, another,
Yeah,
I had the phone.
if I may clear clear up the info on that, because I think you're mixing two different initiatives they have. So one of them is the special needs registry, which doesn't apply to all seniors, just if anybody has, you know, dementia, Alzheimer's, that they need special care, if an officer were to arrive, that's open. We had a forum in case anybody was interested in that. The other thing that Dottie was mentioning was you guys have a form. I don't know if you remember, you've been here a couple of years back. You have a form where you list all your allergies, any special information that any medical provider may need to know in case of an emergency that somebody shows up to your house. It's a paper that has the Elderly Affairs logo on it, and really we've asked seniors to put it on their fridge in case anybody goes into the
I
house.
had the phone. I had the phone.
If you guys need a refresher, I'm happy to bring it to the next meeting.
Wait, we need to finish the.
Yeah, I know
Sorry.
we went off to something else. but
Sorry, I
yeah.
just wanna
Yeah.
like complete. We have to have a vote on the
The
pending
Consumer
motion.
Affairs Division.
I'm allergic to taxes.
There was no discussion, all in favor?
Thank you. And so that's just an FYI. And the last thing I have for you guys, FIU, they had reached out to do a health lecture, which I know you guys gave me a couple of topics. Unfortunately, they were not able to have their students come out, but now they're asking if they can come back and instead do the neighborhood health presentation. I don't know if any of you remember that they have like, I want to say staff or volunteers that go out to the seniors, like actual homes, and help them with anything they may need, day-to-day medication, stuff like that. If you guys want more info on that, they've done a presentation before. I don't know if you guys are interested in having them back to do another one, so this is just me putting it up. It was called FIU Neighborhood Help, and they had left some brochures like 2 years ago when they came.
I signed up for it years ago when you first brought it to us. And I didn't need it. I was interested in following through and finding out more about it. And what I found over the past couple of years is that their contact has been very spotty. They've set up in-home dates for conversation, and it really didn't pan out. That was my experience with them.
At some point, those students graduate, you don't know who's coming, is someone assigned, I got a lot of questions on that one.
Yeah,
because
Well,
you
I think
have to
that's part of
trust
what the forum would be, to answer those questions on how the
if they're
program
not
works.
Following through with the answers to those questions, then you're back where Jackie has.
I just wanted to mention, I can't answer those questions for you because I wouldn't know.
And-
it's with
I-
Jimmy,
yeah.
right? Jimmy is the outreach.
The contact we have is Annette Hungler.
Annette is the
Oh,
one
yeah,
in
I'm
charge.
familiar with that.
Annette's the one in charge.
Well, see, then again, too, you've had time, are we into discussion? I'm sorry.
Nobody has made a motion on it.
Okay, so we need a motion to discuss.
If you guys, no, this is if you want to move
Okay,
forward.
so
with it.
my thoughts are, you have to trust that a certain, let's say Pedro is the contact person, right? Now you have to trust that Pedro's gonna be there and he's got all the history, and then all of a sudden Pedro moves. Now you gotta move on to the next person. We don't know how stable their contact people are. And that's where the whole thing falls apart, is nobody follows through. And the next thing you know, you're making a phone call looking for Pedro. Well, he's not there. Well, he hasn't been there. in
Well,
2
that's my
years.
point.
So it's too much of a turnover for us to put our elderly at risk. I'm gonna
That's the
say
thing, is that
words.
we don't
It's a
know how
risk.
the program, so we
Exactly.
can't speak to that. I don't know if what you're saying is the process. of
Well,
it.
and if we had somebody come over here and talk about it for the elderlies, and you had a seminar or whatever the heck you wanna do, the point is, they still have no control over the change and turnover.
I move to make a motion to have them come and do a forum so we can ask all these questions that we have and then determine at that point if it's something that we want to
And then
further
we'll
pursue.
pursue.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
No
Discussion.
discussion.
Just trying to move it along for you.
Well, you guys said you gotta get out of here.
I know, but
I know, but all right, go ahead, I'm sorry.
To the.
No discussion,
No discussion?
all in favor?
We have one more thing here, our Mr. and Mrs. Miami Lakes contest we had.
Just so you guys know, I've already gone ahead and reached out to Shulos just because this is what we've done in the past. It has not been confirmed. As of 2 weeks ago, they had a couple of days during Saturday actually available in August. And the only info that they were able to give me is that they can honor the same price as last year, so there would not be any,
How much?
increase in the price. Last year, we paid a total of $5,243. And that was obviously for stage, system, sound, and 110 people. It included a 2-course meal. So I just wanted to get that in front of you guys because before we know it, it's August, September, end of year, and then we lose the funds.
So we need-
And if we want to do this, you guys have a hard time sometimes getting the seniors to compete. So just let me know if you guys plan on doing this year. If not, again, just if you guys could let me know, that would be great.
I know our last, Miss Senior Miami Lakes passed away. And her husband's not doing too good right now. But, do we want to do it again?
I don't care for that.
You know what? I think we've always struggled to get people to register.
Right.
And it's a very large expense, and I'd rather take them on a field trip.
Yes.
And have them enjoy the field trip as opposed to us. I mean, once we get there, they've enjoyed it, but it's been a struggle. It's,
They don't
Yeah.
understand. They think it's a beauty contest. They don't understand how, the things and how, what you have to compete. So that's why we don't get enough people. And the people I got last year, most of them told me, no, at the last minute, no, I'm not participating.
Yeah.
so I say we
Yeah.
don't do it.
Then I make a motion that we forego Mr. and Mrs. Miami Lakes in favor of an additional or more field trips. The cost of it, the budget of it.
I'll second the motion.
I just didn't, but that's
Sorry,
okay. I don't care. You've done it.
So,
That's it.
Guys, discussion, anybody have any questions, any thoughts they want to share on that? No? Okay, voting and to be
All-
clear, the vote is that we're not gonna have it this year.
Correct.
All right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, FIU Neighborhood Help? Is that
Oh,
the-
I
is
guess
that
I
the-
included it, so you're
Okay,
welcome, you
all
can
right.
skip that.
No, I get it.
If you're down to an announcement, I just wanted to remind you guys, you have bingo the 22nd, you have a Mount Sinai Health Lecture, which I brought flyers for. That one's gonna be on diabetes, March 21st.
Right.
And Berry University has a lecture scheduled for April 5th at 11 a.m. I don't know the topic yet, but I did send them your request of health topics.
You repeat them in this one. You got the 22nd bingo.
The 21st, you have a health lecture by Mount Sinai on diabetes. The flyer's here. And Berry University lecture, April 5th.
I move to adjourn.
second,
We have a discussion.
All in favor?
I'm sorry, I.
So I gotta get to work.
I'm
supposedly in the back. Special.
But you want?
Yes, and going to March.
Yes.
I was the activities.
they will need to do it. Need it.
Activities.
At what?
That's why he-